right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. This is the extended version for a bit. I know you're waiting for Level Up. It's coming up. Relax. Just now. Let's talk about something else. For now, Crawford Game Jam 2022. You're wondering what that is? Felix Malombe is here with us in studio. He'll explain. He's an edge tech and innovation coach. You know, education technology. That's what we call edge tech. You know, like fintech. I know you get it. Brilliant. So, Felix, thank you so much for making time for us. So, what is Crawford Game Jam 2022 all about?
Thank you, Trevor. The Crawford Game Jam is the first of its kind in Kenya, a student program run by students themselves. Of course, we saying that the thing that we keep telling teachers, oh, you teachers, you should be facilitators of learning. Yeah. And you should make learning student-centered. And you should align with the current and future technologies, you know, is real at Crawford International School. Yeah. And so what we're calling the Crawford Game Jam 2022 is a gaming event scheduled for next week, and I'll be sharing detail on that, which is bringing together young people of ages 12 to 18 years. This is rare to find. Teenagers themselves, they're coming together to, you know, come up with video games and then play them. So in the process, they will come up with, we will be having people who are from their art background, people from languages, because there will be games being designed with various languages and interests. Yeah. Programmers, like when you talk about coding, there will be aspects to do with, you know, just sitting down and designing. So designers will be involved. And so it's like calling young people to come together and play. And because you and I are players, you need to be part of that, in as much as you are above 18 years.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up because I'm a senior. And I see your capping is between 12 to 18 years. So what is the intention of it all, really?
So if you look at the way the world is going, and the panelists who were here a few minutes ago spoke highly on the place of technology in learning. Yeah. But everyone keeps talking about the place of technology in learning. And actually, teachers will tell you, you know, what is happening, you know, the real things that are happening in the classroom. We have content to deliver. We are the best pedagogues, the teachers. But now, how do we bring in technology in education? And that's what I was talking about, EdTech, educational technology. So what we'll be looking at in the Game Jam is highlighting the gaming industry, as it were, and we are saying, if it's possible, can we get our young people at the ages 4 to 14 years to understand what is called, you know, what we call computer science, and now break it down into smaller packages, including things to do with software development, artistic work in the computer science, the place of play, because play is with everyone, and that way we are invoking the creativity in our young people, because a lot of creativity that we see in the world later on started at that age, between 4 years and 14 years, and sometimes we do an acceleration between 15 to 18 years. So in the Game Jam, we are calling young people to bring out the 21st century skills themselves, the creativity, the collaboration. We're talking about the critical thinking and the problem solving. So they will create a scenario for young people, they will create a scenario for themselves and come up with a game that is going to solve that problem or you know, highlight that area. And so Game Jam is about bringing together young people to come up with ideas and then use that interest and that insatiable interest to create programs or games that are going to maybe change the world or even have fun as they do so.
So how do you monetize this, for especially when the people come up with a great idea? What next from there? And is it open to the general public? If I am someone who's listening to you right now and they want to take part, what do they do? Where do they go?
Okay, so we are highlighting, first of all, the gaming industry, and we are saying children are stuck on their screens, playing on their phones, with them, they're on the mummy's phones and everything else. And I run STEAM Labs Africa. Our job is to highlight the place of STEAM, not just STEM. We are saying, can we bring in together students who are wholesome, the whole child, who is artistic, the scientific student, the one who is good with languages and all that. And then we're creating opportunities for the students to come and see what it is that they can be able to build at this stage. Now, at STEAM Labs Africa, what I do is I partner with schools, and earlier on, I have partnered with Crawford International School, started an innovation hub that is called the Go Lab. It is amazing. And it is not in university, this is in K-12, that is primary and secondary school. And so Crawford International School becomes a leader in creating a gateway for the students. And so in the end, the students will now identify early in advance, before they go to university, what is it that they can do. And so from there, now they can even create games, or they can even play games. They can design games. They can become audio designers. They can become game artists. And in the end, they can choose those careers. Now, at the same time, because Crawford International School focuses on what we are calling the STEAM education, we also incorporate the aspect of entrepreneurship. How do you scale this game that you made so that it can actually bring forth some coins or something for your family at that age? And this is why we're saying the spirit, the entrepreneurial mindset and spirit must be inculcated as early as at now. Yeah. So the students come up with the games in the next few days, on November 24th to 26th. But that game that they create, they are going to win awards, but that is just something to get them excited. There is more to that. There is what you'll be able to capture from that. Some students will actually realize they are gifted because of their interest in gaming. And then from there, they will be able to come up with ideas that they can build. After that, as they continue, STEAM Labs Africa, Crawford International Schools, Rusinga Schools, all the other schools that are involved are going to be able to help the students to connect with the world and also, connect in the global game jam that happens every year.
What kind of awards are there?
Awards. Oh, amazing. So the first winner, first of all, gets 100. The winner gets 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Following closely, the first runners-up, number 2, will be getting 60,000 Kenyan shillings. And thirdly, they will be getting, the second runners-up will be getting 30,000 Kenyan shillings. And this is just to hype the students and, get them to know that what they're involved in is big. The gaming industry is bigger than that. And that is just a highlight of what would be happening. But the other things, of course, there is some merch that is going to come in, maybe some T-shirt, some hoodie, I don't know. So many things are in the pipeline. We are planning. I don't want to say everything else.
Don't let the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
This is generally just to motivate them, but there's also the aspect of technology and innovation.
Yes.
What do you see as the gaps? Is there a gap in terms of policy, in terms of patenting? What would you recommend to the government if they're listening right now?
There are so many things, Trevor. I will say one of the things that we are missing, and the panelists were speaking, but there is one thing that no one talks about. You will never bring technology in the class in schools until you bring in a subject called computer science and digital fluency.
So that's where you have to...
That is the first thing you need to do.
Foundation.
And you cannot tell us we need to do coding. No. Coding is a small component of digital or computer science and digital fluency. Addressing a conference of international schools and government agencies a few months ago, we said that we need to have a subject called computer science and digital fluency. Now, what is happening in the CBC, for example, we are having what they call science and technology. And there are only 2 chapters in grade 4, 5, and 6 that are focusing on technology. And what technology they are focusing on is basically what we call ICT, and that is Microsoft PowerPoint, and a little bit of coding. But we need to really think about the very main areas that are in computer science and digital fluency, including digital citizenship. How do you behave online and online safety? And then within that also, you'll be able to bring in certain areas in computer science as early as grade 1. All the way to grade 8 or, grade 9 as the CBC is currently constituted, in the years to come. No, you will be able to bring that out early. So students will know I'm either a data scientist, a software developer, a gaming designer, a gaming artist. They will be able to see the areas that are demarcated, including networks and, what some of the people who are working with you are doing. That is still in computer science. But no one talks about that in our schools. We just have a small component that I feel like the task force that is working on the CBC can actually incorporate a subject on its own, a standalone subject, because it's a wide subject. And other countries are already doing that. We do not want to be left behind. Crawford International School, Rusinga Schools, School of the Nation, those schools that STEAM Labs are supported, have actually been able to see the fruits of what we are saying, and we are doing a very good job in highlighting that.
Yeah, that's from the classroom side. But from the government side, in terms of when, for example, one of the young people you're going to interact with come up with something brilliant, what does it take for you to get a patent, for it to be now monetized?
Yes.
Is there a gap in that policy making as well?
That's right. I think you're raising a very important area here. I studied computer engineering at Kenyatta University a few years ago, and I had to train as a teacher to be able to teach innovation and all what I'm saying. But basically, what we need to do, first of all, not even in the schools, is in the industry. The patent IPs are there. There is a lot of discussion on that. But there is still a lot of issues to do with theft. And, you know, someone like me, because I'm the teacher, taking credit of a product students have made. So what I suggest the government needs to do is they need to realize that young people are already coming up with great ideas. And some people would actually take that and use that. While it's against the law, it is happening. So the government needs to be a bit stringent on who comes up with the idea and how do you protect that person who has come up with a product, like what we are going to do next week. By Saturday, we'll have a very big idea coming up through the game jam. Yeah. How do we protect that? Government needs to come in and help us in doing that. And the way to do that is not to think that policymakers are the only people, but we go to the schools and find out what students are making. Yes. Young Scientist Kenya is doing something. The Crawford Game Jam is doing something. Next week, in December, we're talking about Hour of Code. Yeah. And at Safaricom, Steam Labs Africa and Safaricom are partnering to bring out the Teens Innovation Week, which is going to happen in December 5th to 8th. When this idea come out, the government needs to be able to partner with these organizations to ensure the children's ideas are protected and they are nurtured, they are scaled in the entrepreneurial spirit, and the students are able to see their product. Yeah. Maybe those are the students we need to, first of all, adopt in the universities before we can even think about grades. Yeah, that's an interesting
perspective you bring, Felix, because there's the aspect of the idea, first of all.
Yes.
Then there's the improving it without losing the original genuine of the idea.
That's right.
So, for example, if I come up with a fantastic idea, but there are just a few more adjustments that need to be made, how then do you ensure that as the originator of the idea, I am protected, but also the idea is improved, and those who have helped you improve have also not been left out, like they didn't do anything?
That's right. Yeah. As we talk today, Crawford International School is the best STEM school, according to a research done by Great Places to School. And how that has happened is because Crawford International School goes for competitions. They come up with ideas. They win. Recently, there was Rusinga hackathon, which highlighted Crawford International School in terms of the best students or the environmental innovations. How we take those ideas now and we help the students, people like me, the innovation coaches, it's very important because I could actually take it and make it my own project. But Crawford School is also taking credit of that. So we need to ensure actually the child is protected from all these other parties and the idea is nurtured by the people while supporting the child and without losing the person who came up with the idea and who sustained it over time. Yeah. But the most important thing is the child and the idea. How do we help them to move? And so I feel like government needs to come in. There are many things happening among the teenagers, but no one is talking about them. We talk about university students, but teenagers are doing amazing ideas, and some of them are dying in the classroom and in those rooms where we are doing the innovations. And that's why I feel it is not just computer science that I'm asking for. I'm asking the government to think about innovative spaces, which are interdisciplinary, not focusing on computer. It's not computers I'm talking about innovation. Yeah. In STEM Labs Africa, we have an approach we call the PP, the 3 Ps. So when I go to a student, I told them about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as a blueprint on which you can get problems, the first P. The second thing we use is design thinking, which is what you're asking me. How do you scale the idea? Because you have the idea, you have the user, but now how do you build a prototype? So design thinking, the process. P, problem. P, the process, and finally, we come up with what we call the prototype or the minimum viable product, which now is what you're asking me, how do you sustain that idea? Now we build from there. Governments, agencies like Chandari Innovation Hub, the Strathmore Innovation Hub, and these are the entities that can actually come in and help the students to scale the idea will be a very big thing for our students in the kindergarten, in the teenage group, that is 12 years to 18, 19 years. Okay. That way, the students will be able to see their product coming out. But as in my role as an innovation coach, my job is to see the students first of all, see who they are, show out, come up with the idea, and that way they are able to bring out the best idea. Right. My students at Crawford International School are 8 of them. They are led by one student called Shiv Shah, working very closely with several others, Mugambi Mwithia, Samantha Makobewa, and all these students, they don't even know, they don't know these barriers we normally have, because teenagers are free, free people. Them, they just come together, they have the energy. So I want to see what is it that they are going to come up with, because they have come up with a game jam, the first one in Kenya led by students. How do they then move from there with the ideas that are going to be built from there, including theirs is also an innovation, I just helped them in facilitating the same. It's not my idea at all. It's students who have come up with this. We have helped them, and Citizens TV has been very instrumental in supporting us by, highlighting the event. The Tattoo City, for example, has awarded the students a lot of money to run the event. The Crawford International School has invested highly, is the gold sponsor, to make the event happen. So the students, Shiv and his core and his team will be able to, build those ideas, including this first event. And I feel like in February, next year, early February, 1st to 5th, the students will run a national one, which is going to attract everyone else, which is the Global Game Jam. All right, Felix, I'll give you a chance for closing remarks. We are running out of time here. So the person who's watching today, what would you want them to hear? And is it an open invite for all of us? Can we all just come? What happens? As we talk, there are I think 10 teams that have already signed up. We did not want so many. But we were thinking of 100 students, but already there are too many students who are coming in. Some of them are even 10 years. They want to really invest into this. We are saying, can we get as many students from all over the country? One of them is from Kisumu, and he's coming for the game jam. He's coming to learn and see what it is that he can learn from that. We have students from every corner of the country, but anybody between years 12, that is 12 years to 18 years, is welcome to come and attend this amazing event. Even if you don't you don't know how to code, even if you don't know how to design, you come and learn. Because this is a call to highlight the gaming industry in Kenya. And we do that, we change the world. We change the teenage life altogether. Brilliant. Very well said. Felix Malombe, Edge Tech and Innovation Coach. Asante sana. Stand by for that Crawford Game Jam 2022. And now, it's time for Level Up with... Who's on the decks, by the way? Roy T-Boy.